Chelsea's announcement that they have reached an agreement to sign Emegha reads like a statement that will ripple through this season and beyond. A 22-year-old Dutch forward, towering and athletic, who has been making defenders uncomfortable in League One, is now set to join the Blues, a move that, until the ink is fully dry, already alters the chessboard for Barcelona and the wider European market. The immediate shock is not just that Chelsea picked up a promising striker, it's that he was reportedly one of the profiles admired by Deco as Barca prepares for the inevitable process of replacing Robert Lewandowski. At 37, and with a contract that runs toward 2026, Lewandowski's twilight is visible on the horizon, and Barcelona's recruitment team has been hunting for long-term answers. High-profile names such as Holland and Julian Alvarez have been floated but feel out of reach for multiple reasons. And then there was Emegha, a blend of size, pace and finishing that fits modern centre-forward demand. Chelsea's capture therefore reads as a double blow. A statement of intent from Stamford Bridge and a practical lesson for Barca in how margins in the transfer market can be the difference between reshaping an attack and scrambling for plan B. Emegha's recent numbers, a breakthrough season in France that saw him score freely and follow up with an early season burst, explain why he was on multiple radars. Standing nearly 1.96 metres, he provides a physical presence that can occupy defenders, win aerial duels and still threaten in behind. That profile alone makes him attractive to clubs who need both a focal point and a forward who can develop further. For Chelsea, adding a young striker with proven scoring instincts at a high level is about building depth and future planning. They not only shore up their options for the next campaign, but also send a signal that when a talented young forward emerges in Europe, Chelsea will move decisively. For Barcelona, the consequence is more complicated. Missing out on a top target forces the club to confront its financial and strategic limits. Deco and the sporting department must weigh whether to keep searching for another external solution, one that may be more expensive, riskier, or less available, or to lean harder into internal development and tactical adjustments that make the most of what they already have. And that is where Ferran Torres' name reappears as a central theme. Deco's internal plan reportedly prioritizes maximizing existing resources, and Ferran's versatility, work rate and technical ability make him a logical candidate to shoulder more responsibility in the absence of a marquee signing. Accelerating his evolution into a primary attacking role is not without risk. It demands tactical tweaks from the manager, sustained confidence from the club, and a period of adaptation for Ferran himself. But it also represents a pragmatic path that mitigates the hazards of chasing elite, expensive forwards in an inflated market. In practical terms, Barcelona will have to decide whether to rearrange the squad around Ferran, to target a more affordable or less obvious forward solution, or to double down on a late, high-cost move that could destabilize finances. The transfer's reverberations extend beyond the two clubs. Scouts, agents and competing teams will now reassess the pool of available strikers. Clubs that had been considering Emegha must pivot, and players who once seemed peripheral could suddenly become prime candidates. Fans will debate whether Barcelona missed a generational chance or whether this is simply the messy business of modern football, where timing, negotiation speed and conviction separate winners from losers. For Chelsea supporters, the mood will be optimistic. A bright young forward joining the club offers hope for a sharper attack and a long-term asset. For Barcelona fans, the reaction will be a mixture of frustration and curiosity. Frustration at the lost opportunity and curiosity about which path Deco will choose next. In the end, this transfer encapsulates the delicate balance between scouting, acumen and execution. One club's decisive maneuver becomes another club's urgent problem to solve, and that dynamic, more than individual names or individual games, often defines a season. Chelsea's agreement for Emegha does not close the book. It opens a new chapter in a wider story about succession, strategy, and the unforgiving economics of the transfer market. As the weeks unfold, all eyes will turn to Barcelona's response. Will they buy their way back into contention for a top striker? Will they remodel their attack around familiar faces? Or will this serve as the moment Ferran Torres rises to become the figure Deco hopes he can be?